Hi Lal, Prashant here.
Hey, Prashant, how are you?
Yeah, sorry mate. Just after we were talking,
Yeah,
Andy Wood called me from this big group basically, and he had Rob and Mark Hughes and all David Fraser, etc.
Fraser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
gang has been swung into action, and they were all full of wisdom today of what we should be doing. So
Okay.
ultimately, I think
Yeah.
I think they are the same thing, right? Too many chiefs and too few Indians. I think ultimately it's the two Indians of us will have to do the work, but it's good to. It's sometimes interesting to hear all the strategies being laid down by all these.
Yeah. Honchos, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Supposed honchos.
Yeah, supposed honcho.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
mean, you know what? I think he was being harsh. I mean, one of the things with Gareth, right?
Yeah,
Gareth
yeah,
Nunn is that
yeah.
he's pro us at the moment, right? But he's not a very good listener. He didn't
Ah,
really give opportunity to Kev or basically Milan to say, look, I'm concerned about modularity of your application. Yeah. If he had
Yeah,
said that in those words, I'm sure Kev and Milan would have answered that. Okay. Yeah.
right.
But also, he's also naive to expect that ERP is a completely modular. For example, there was nothing wrong in my example that if you're going to implement asset management, you're
Yeah,
going to need procurement and inventory, because how are you going to
yeah,
buy stuff, right?
yeah,
How are
yeah,
you going to put
yeah.
stuff in the warehouses? So if you think that you can use a third party supply chain application and asset management with an LN, then you're living in my opinion, a bit of a
yeah,
fantasy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, mate, totally. Yeah.
So, and then this thing that we need an enterprise architect involved and all that sort of stuff. I just think that these people have come from a different bent of mind, and they don't really grasp ERP properly.
Right. You mean the enterprise architects, right?
No,
You
no,
mean
no,
them?
no. I mean
Oh.
our sales management. The
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
example, they were talking about MDM, and I've already told, like,
Mm,
I just cannot see how you're going to implement MDM in an
mm,
ERP environment. And something which these guys did, Servitech, is very illustrative, right? So when Servitech needed an MDM system, they didn't go and buy an MDM system. They
they bought
actually,
IFS.
they bought. You know why they bought IFS?
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
knew that all the
Yeah.
validations which need to
Yeah.
exist in an ERP
Yeah.
before I willy-nilly allow to change any attribute,
Yes.
that's not easy to build in an MDM system. That's why
Yeah.
they're using ERP to do their MDM, although they're doing
Yeah.
a separate instance.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's all I just don't. I mean, there is a reason why I think the actual solution that gets implemented is very different to what sales sell, because sales also, in my opinion, have got a very different view of how things should be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, what's the action points on you now? Are there any action points on you or not?
Yeah. So, okay, why am I getting an echo, Prashant? Okay, I don't know why I'm getting an echo. So I'm just hearing myself.
Okay.
Two quick ones. One is the pricing. You heard the price, right? For discovery, that needs to be at a certain
Yeah,
level.
I think Dan
Yeah.
mentioned it will be around 80k. Yeah, he said it is 150k at the moment, and then it will be brought to 80k. Yeah.
At bloody list. I told you, right? List price, it's more than 200. So anyway, we got to bring it down to below 100k, 80, 90k or whatever. So that's one. And second is obviously the feedback there. Where they said, look, they want modular, as in break up. Look, one of the 5 features in quote unquote engage is this opportunity roadmap, which is obviously talking to them, understanding. For example, you said today, right? Product and what else did he say? Project and
Okay.
asset, right? Assets,
Asset and product.
assets and product, right? So if that is I don't know, that's what we need to deep dive, understand their priority, prioritize on a modular basis. And that's how that opportunity roadmap breaks out, right?
Okay.
What do you do first? What do you do later?
Yeah.
What do you do further down the line? Blah, blah, blah. What is now? What is later? What is further down? All that timeline will come out. So I think we'll need to articulate that message or focus on that piece a lot more, Prashant.
Okay.
Because they said IPC analysis, OCM, change management, all this is probably for them is like meh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe that, hone in on that, focus on that a lot more.
I totally agree. I fully in the implementation proposal. His number one question. I think he said it. Like, my number one issue is how can I break this whole beast into chunks, which cause minimum risk basically in the business. And that I think he is. And how does modularity fit into that? I.e., can I just implement service management without implementing X, Y, Z?
Yeah.
I think that, and to be honest with you, Lalit, there's no easy answer to that question, because whatever you say to him, he doesn't like it, right? Isn't it? If you say
because you already said to him, Garrett, we know it will be interfaces, right? That's what you said to him yesterday. And he was like, I think he half acknowledged it. Because he also doesn't see any other way out. But until we do that little prioritization exercise, my friend, it's hard to.
But you know what? The prioritization. Listen, we do not understand their enterprise structure. So how do I know that? Can I get all service locations in Europe live first, and then America? Because is America a self-contained region where very few parts get transferred to them? Is the answer to that question yes or no? So we really need to understand your enterprise architecture from a point of view of how are sites being supplied from, and what is the scope at various sites and that sort of stuff. Don't you think?
I agree, mate. So once we have tomorrow morning, I'll for that discovery, right? I said to Andy, I'll ping it over. I'll also keep you in copy, Prashant. And if you have, your additional thoughts on this particular point, right? How this enterprise structure topic you just raised, and if there's any other wording you give us, we're happy to add it in that, my friend.
Okay, Matt. Okay. So, but what are you going to do in the implementation proposal, Lalit? What are you going to do?
You mean for the model side?
No. Doesn't he say, look, for the model, he doesn't, for the model side, he just needs costing.
Correct.
Right? He does not need because that's just the thing, right?
Correct.
But in order to answer the question of how I can modularize this implementation, what are you going to do basically? Are you just going to write a paragraph or a description?
I would say so, right? But if you have got other thoughts, and I don't know, I haven't consulted with the enterprise architect team yet. Because all we got right now is the standard blurb around, what the opportunity roadmap, what does that give you, but not the actual process. Deep dive. I think that's what you're basically saying, right? How would you go about, and then what would you suggest for them, right? I suppose what you would suggest for them will come on the back of this
discovery.
Exactly, man. But I think to your point, where am I putting words in him? I don't know if I'm putting words in him. Are you saying thought leadership? Add something that already, like what you just said, hey, enterprise structure, what does that look like? This is what we would do in this discovery. This is what we would flesh out, right?
You know what his biggest concern, Lalit, is that his concern is that how modular our solution is. So, for example, if I say to you that I got these 5 sites, let's say in Europe, and they do service management. Can I just implement service management in those 5 sites, leaving finance in my any other application, leaving my procurement somewhere else, leaving my quality somewhere else? So can I implement just that piece which they are currently using, right? And to be honest with you, I do not know the answer to that question, because I'm coming from a solution which is very integrated. Yeah, you don't break it down too much. In fact, breaking it down too much causes a real issue, because LN is not easy to integrate with.
Even though we freaking say info rows.
That's also nonsense, right? I mean, that's just bloody marketing gimmickry, right?
Yeah.
So if a service order is created and we need a part, well, you need to implement inventory management within LN, because that is the way you create a demand, right? And if you don't convert that demand into a purchase order, then how do you get the cost onto the service order? If you don't issue the part on a service order, then how do you do a job costing? How do you know how much the service order costed you and what parts were used? And so I'm sorry, the minimum viable scope does involve inventory and procurement always.
Always, right? Yeah.
So, but I think this is what he's trying to understand. Well, how modular this application is.
Yeah. And my other worry, Prashant, from a commercial perspective, right? For the model side, is he expecting just the small chunks priced at? You know what I mean. So take the company A, company B, right? UK, has projects and manufacturing, not service, right? And then shared services, finance, procurement, whatnot. So easy thinking, because he's doing just these modular bits, we only price for those sub modules. That's not how we price, right?
No.
Yeah.
But does he expect that? Does he expect that for the model side, I need to know how long it will take to cover manufacturing?
No, I don't think so. My only thing was license cost. Easy.
License he probably does.
Yeah.
That's why he has given user numbers.
Right. But the way we price it is not based on modules, right? It's just ERP named user. Yeah.
Yes. Because the way we do that is that we have core ERP, right?
Yeah.
But plant and equipment is a different solution. So service management basically is priced separately based upon number of users.
Okay.
No, that was Adler actually, not this one. No.
For engineering construction.
Yeah. This is slightly different, because in here, the plant and equipment is just basically part of the Cloud Suite IE, and it's based on number of users, not modules. It's not modularized at all.
At all, right? At all. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's the question I asked, even in my SAS response. And I have to write an RFI response, right? And I said, when we answer a requirement, we don't say this particular module does it. We simply say CSIE does it. And it's impossible for me to say this module, because the system is so integrated. It spans 2 or 3 modules. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I'm losing you now, Lalit.
Yeah.
I'm losing you, buddy. I think the line, I don't know whether it's your end or my end.
Okay, I'll put on speaker, because I was now probably after taking it out. Yeah, that's, don't know, Prash. I mean, could that be another issue for them after we submit? I don't know. We'll see.
We shall see. But what is David Fraser's doing? Yeah. So he's suddenly become the new Chris Street, basically. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And he's come from implementation, hasn't he?
No. He's always been sales.
Has he been? Okay.
Yeah. He's always been since.
So basically he's the appointed one, yeah?
Right now. They're calling him he's interim right now. I'm sure you know how it is. If he wants the role, he'll get it.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think Vitek will tell him whether he wants it or not. Because that CIO is an absolute, firecracker.
But yeah, no, I get it. But one thing is, right, David in the past, he did run what do you call it, teams, delivery teams.
Okay.
So he's not fully, hey, right from the get go, services sales, that's it.
Okay.
No, it's not. That was the question. Yeah, he did run projects and delivery, and and then he moved on up. Yeah.
I mean, do you like him, or as a boss?
Look, I think he's a good guy. He's got a good handle on things. Generally speaking, he can talk the lingo as well. So yeah, he's generally a good guy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good then, buddy. We shall see.
We shall see, man. Yeah. Hey, Prashant, good to speak, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right?
Yeah,
I'll see you in the morning tomorrow. Yeah.
Cheers, buddy. Take care.
All right, man. Take it easy. Yeah? Bye.